I'd like to congratulate all of you. You've done a wonderful job.
I told you, a little dusting, a little painting, the whole building good as new.
Right you are.
It's dirty.
Yes, I know, Rick, but I'm trying to encourage them.
Tasteful, huh?
Well, yes, it is, Mr. Klein. I'm sure that Mr. Taylor will appreciate it.
Appreciate what? Rat-infested wall covering?
Ray.
Look, the basement is flooded, the roof is leaking, and the floorboards are rotted out. Who's the rocket scientist who convinced them to redecorate? Of course.
Well, I convinced them, Ray, that it would show the new landlord that he'd made a very wise investment, not just in the building, but in the tenants themselves.
And did you check him out?
Well, of course, Ray. I met him at the laundromat, which he owns, along with a string of 27 other cleaning establishments. Now, I complimented him on his 25-cent all-you-can-drive policy. We fell to talking. He seems very sincere. He's meeting with Mr. Potter this afternoon to conclude the sale agreement. Cash, isn't it, Dennis?
For the full asking price.
Yeah, Potter must be thrilled. The old weasel hasn't spent more than $1.98 on this place since you moved in.
Hey, I object to my employer being characterized in such a fashion.
Being a fellow rodent, I expected you would. Some neighborhood's a slum. Cleaning up one building is like dropping a good apple in a barrel full of bad ones. You can't win.
You know, Ray, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step.
Did your grandmother teach you that?
Yes.
If you think Taylor's going to be an improvement, you got another thing coming. Wow.
Ah, Mr. Taylor. It's good to see you.
Ben, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. If you care to join us inside, this is my friend, Detective Raymond Vecchio.
66 T-Bird, 72 Riviera.
A Riv? Mint?
Was. I've gone through a couple of them recently.
They were blown up.
You wouldn't happen to know where I might
Keep an eye out for you.
Well, shall we? Nice guy.
Going up?
I thought this was junk.
Hey, you watch how you talk about somebody's home.
I took the liberty of having it repaired.
Well done.
Sorry, maximum of 3 allowed. Third floor.
Congratulate me, Constable. I've just made an excellent investment.
Allow me to add my congratulations.
Thank you, Dennis.
And this.
Thank you kindly. There must be some mistake.
Nope. Taylor hired me to stay on as super, and I never make mistakes.
So he's going to raise the rent.
Yes, $1,000 per month per unit.
What?
He can't do that, can he?
No, not if you have a lease.
Ah.
You do have a lease, though. I'm going to take that as a no.
I told him not to pay the increase, Ray. It's unfair, and if it's not illegal, it's at the very least unethical.
Good, so when do you move?
Well, we're not moving. We're going to exercise our rights.
Yeah, well, if you excuse me, I'm gonna exercise mine. Bubbles, Al. If you let the paint dry too fast, you get bubbles. So what we have here is either the work of someone who lacks a keen appreciation for a good finish or someone who has a bad eye for bubbles.
Fine. 2 bubbles. I'll knock off a quarter.
Hey, you gotta do better than that.
I mean, they can't afford the increase, Ray.
So move.
No, we're not moving.
Look, both you and I know you gotta turn this baby over, Al.
Ray, you're beating me up here. I'm bleeding all over the floor.
I mean, I got them into this, right?
No, what you did was you helped them clean up that hellhole. If they want any more help than that, you tell them to call 60 Minutes.
Every person has the right to a roof over their head.
Yeah, as long as they can pay the rent. What is that? Is that rust, Al? Do I see rust there?
That's primer.
Yeah, and if I was wearing a dress, I'd be a woman.
Oh, dear.
Oh, dear. What do we have here? Oh, yeah. Will you look at that, huh? Huh? What do you say now, Al?
Okay, I'll drop off 500, but that's it.
Oh, no, that would make the final price, Oh, well, how much can a frame be worth anyway?
Frame?
Yeah, it's spot welded. It's quite excellent work, except for the slight contour on the brazing here. You really wouldn't know that this car had been severed in half. I'm sure there's still a lot of it that's salvageable.
So, Al, what do you have to say for yourself before we bring you downtown?
Ray, he's your cousin.
He's twice removed.
Still driving that same old hunk of junk, huh?
Ange.
Don't let me interrupt. Just a woman with a dead Mustang. Hey, Al, try and remember to put the oil cap back on, okay?
Sure, Ange.
See ya.
Perhaps you're not ready to replace your old car.
She's a friend,
I see.
and it's none of your business.
Understood.
City Hall, are you crazy?
They have a responsibility to protect the rights of all urban dwellers.
Frazier, how many of those mutants who live in your building do you think actually vote?
Ray, City Hall has a responsibility to govern and protect all of its citizens, whether they vote or not. It's called the social contract.
Yeah, well, maybe in Canada there's an igloo for every Eskimo and a seal in every pot, but here in America, if it doesn't get votes, it's dog meat. Excuse me.
Make it good.
We have a complaint.
No, we don't.
Which is it?
We have an injustice.
Injustice is down the hall.
Look, Benny, if you want some help, you're gonna have to register a dispute.
You sure?
Yes, well, that's what they do here. They handle disputes.
I won't be making a fuss.
Well, of course you will. That's the whole point.
I don't have to raise my voice, do I?
Look, there's no polite way to dispute. You just jump right in there.
I see.
Okay.
Okay, let's go. I demand... Well, no, I don't. I respectfully request... Well, no, actually, just speaking strictly for myself, Ray...
We have a slumlord who's trying to illegally evict a whole building full of poor people.
Thank you.
If that's the best you can do, fill this out, take it upstairs to room 232. You'll need $1 for processing.
Thank you kindly.
Well, it's not as bleak as it seems.
You get our rent lowered?
No.
And you, landlord?
No, I'm afraid not.
Anything?
Well, not exactly, but I do think it's time for us to retain legal counsel
We can't afford the lawyer. I mean, it's too expensive. It's too expensive.
You got us into this.
Coming through. Got a point here. Coming through.
Yes, I realize that, but I firmly believe...
What now?
Thank you.
I'd read it first.
What? More rent?
No. We are hereby notified that payment is past due, and with service of this notice, our occupancy of these premises has been terminated.
What does it mean?
It means we've been evicted.
She's not going to help you. This is small potatoes, and she's a big journalist.
Well, she was very helpful the last time, as I recall.
Yeah, well, last time she thought you were a fraud. Fraud sells newspapers. Do-gooders do not.
You know, Ray, I think you're underestimating her. Everyone loves an underdog.
Yeah, everybody's not Mackenzie King. I'll wait.
There's no need.
You'll be back in 30 seconds?
I'll be fine.
All right.
Hey, this was supposed to be a test drive.
Just keep your shirt on, pal.
Bagels, Warren. Not muffins, not cheese, Danish, just a plain, honest-to-God water bagel.
You know, Mackenzie, there are reporters in Korea who would thank their boss for bringing them a rice-coated water beetle.
Warren, sweetie, I would eat a beetle for you any day on a bagel. Now here's a man who knows how to save a damsel in distress. You know what a bagel looks like, don't you, Fraser?
Yes, I am acquainted with it. Diefenbaker. I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Canupa. He's, rude.
Are you kidding? I was just about to offer him a job.
Miss King, would you accompany me to lunch?
Forget the bagel.
Excuse me. Do I pay you to take Mounties out to lunch? I don't think so. I think I pay you to sit at that desk, work the phones, and come up with stories that'll sell papers. Am I making myself clear?
Excuse me a minute, please.
Yes.
Thanks.
I don't break stories by sitting on my duck when the phone rings. Am I making myself clear?
I'm ready now.
Oh, all right.
Thanks.
No! We won't go! Must go!
This is what I'm gonna win a Pulitzer Prize for? Laurel Hardy and the cast of Mother Courage?
They're a small group, but they're very dedicated.
They're pathetic, Fraser.
Yes, but in a good way. Another bagel? Where are the others?
I caught Mr. Cooper sneaking off with his bags packed. Some of the others, too. I had to drag the rest of them here.
Thank you. Mr. Taylor, I've been trying to reach you.
Constable, good to see you. Is this really necessary?
Well, yes. You see, apparently there's been a misunderstanding wherein you raised their rent beyond the capacity of the tenants to pay it. And apparently the superintendent is trying to have them evicted.
Building isn't rent controlled, is it?
Well, no.
And they were given the full 5 days allowable by law to meet their rent increase?
Yes.
Is it illegal for a businessman to make a profit on an investment?
You're taking away these people's homes.
You told me you wanted to improve your neighborhood. Last week, I purchased 4 tenements on your block. 2 of them were condemned. The other 2 should have been. I'm going to replace them with condominiums. And when I'm through, your neighborhood is going to be one of the finest in downtown Chicago.
You intend to demolish the entire block?
6 blocks.
What about the tenants?
Anybody who can afford the new buildings is welcome.
But they can't.
I know. Fraser, who do you think is putting the garbage in your halls to begin with? Miss King, how are things at the Guardian? I haven't read my stockholders report lately.
Don't tell me, you're the guy who voted out the free bagel delivery, right?
It's a pleasure.
I'm sure.
John Taylor. I should call Warren now. He's going to fire me.
You think our chances are slim?
Did you see this building? Donald Trump couldn't afford it. You are one man in a red suit.
Yes. I see what you mean.
Whoa, wait. You watch a lot of movies growing up in Pick or wherever you come from?
Some.
It's a Wonderful Life, right?
Yes, actually. 32 times.
Huh?
It was the Reverend's favorite film. Well, that and The Passion of Joan of Arc.
No, you see, that's why movies are dangerous, Fraser. They take young minds and twist them into believing things like courage and hope, and one man can make a difference. This may come as a shock to you and the Reverend, but real life is not a Frank Capra movie. Real life is money and bank accounts and politicians. People who pretend it's not end up out here in the streets with people like them. Are you listening?
Not really, no.
You're a bad influence on me, Bento. No smiling. What's the matter? Doesn't anybody limp?
Dennis, do you know the story of the three bears?
The three bears.
They went out picketing, left their homes unattended. Someone came along and shut off their heat, cut off their electricity, backed up their plumbing, changed all the locks.
Goldilocks?
It's an analogy.
Ah. It's cold out.
Who would you rather be? Goldilocks or one of the bears?
Come on. Little lollygag. Good evening, Mr. Fraser.
These are the times that try men's souls. Thomas Paine. He wrote books. The Rights of Man, among others. Good night. Stop stealing the blanket. You're an Arctic wolf, for God's sake. You're getting soft. I hope you realize that.
Hey, that's mine. Look, I don't care who you guys are. You can't come here and break my stuff.
Thank you kindly. Now, perhaps you and your friend could
vacate this apartment building.
Sorry, no can do.
You live here?
Do now? This apartment. I guess somebody forgot to pay his rent.
Diefenbaker.
Jack, put that away. You gotta scare our new neighbors.
Hey, is this yours? Guess you forgot it.
Hope you seen your neighbor. Rushton, Herrera, and Goldman. None of them have ties to Taylor. None of them on parole, no outstanding warrants.
What about Mr. Klein's furniture?
He refused to move it. They had the permission of the landlord. I mean, it's cruel, but it's not illegal.
So there's nothing the police can do?
Well, I can bring him in for questioning, give Taylor a warning, but sooner or later, if he wants you out, he's going to throw you out.
Friend.
Yeah. She's also my ex-wife.
Oh.
What?
Nothing.
Why are you in this car with me?
Because you said you'd drive me.
Oh, no, I didn't.
Oh, yes, you did.
Well, I've changed my mind.
Oh, well.
What do you do? Just shut the door, will you? Okay, shut the door.
You want to get in on the action here? We got a deadline.
No lockouts here. See, right here in the pamphlet. No lockouts permitted by law.
This ain't no lockout. You people got rats in these apartments. Gotta wait for the exterminators.
These rats in here. I saw you.
No, look, this is all legal. Mr. Taylor says everything happening here is legal.
They're lies. They came into our apartments and said we broke the plumbing and wrecked everything. It's not true. Most of the things, they were wrecked when we came in.
He broke my window and he said I did it.
Yes. What are you doing? Hey, they're lying. Don't do that.
All right, now we're talking.
Yes. Look at us.